Hello all, it's your girl Tiffany, Madam Luscious Black Beauty, your poetic psychic Pisces, High Priestess. I'm here for another one of my missing mysteries. I do hope you all are doing well and feeling well on tonight. And without any further ado, we're going to jump right into this reading. This reading is going to be for Relisha Rudd. Okay, Relisha Rudd from Washington, D.C. Okay, and just briefly, I just want to say that I actually remember this case when it happened, and it was very suspicious to me at the time. However, I wasn't doing the work that I am now when I heard of this case, but it didn't sit right with me then. So I'm going to go over that real quick, and then we're going to proceed into the other information. First of all, Relisha Rudd, she was a little girl. Um, it's crazy because with these cases, I'm usually able to find like the birth dates and like her actual birth date and her actual age, but it was not available on the site that I was getting the information from. But I want to say that Relisha Rudd was somewhere in between 7 and 10 years old. Okay. Okay, so Relisha Rudd, as well as her other siblings and her mother, they ended up falling on hard times. They were homeless. They were living, and so they began to live in this shelter. Okay, the shelter that they was living in, it was very run down. It was unclean. It was overly packed. Um, you just had all kind of unsavory people in and out of there. Um, but this is where they had to stay because the mother did not have adequate housing for them. I don't think she was working at the time because she didn't have any steady stream or source of income. I don't believe. However, like I said, they were staying in this shelter for homeless people. Okay. Now during this time, Relisha's mother, she would sometimes let her kids, go over with some of her family members while she ran the streets, did whatever that she wanted to do. Um, However, the situation pertaining to Relisha, there ended up being a man by the name of KAHLIL Tatum. He worked at the shelter for the homeless people, and I think he did some type of janitorial work. Um, he was always like very friendly with the kids, and things that were staying in the shelters, as well. Giving them treats or snacks or little candies or just, conversing with the people living in the shelters and things like that or whatever. So, he was doing this with Relisha Rudd or whatever. He became very familiar and friendly with Relisha's mother. So it got to the point, according allegedly to Relisha's mother, she entrusted this man supposedly, okay, and he started taking Relisha like out on outings and things. And red flag number one for me, he was grooming her. Okay, it is very creepy for an older man just to be like, you know what I'm saying, just like all extra with people's kids and different things or whatever, and you're specifically only, I can see if you were doing something nice for the group of them, for the whole of them there at the shelter, but you're specifically catering to the young kids there and getting close to their mothers just to get closer to the kids and things. So nevertheless, the mother started letting KAHLIL Tatum take Relisha out on outings. There was a couple times that he claimed he was going to take her like to the movies. He was going to take her to like some type of concert type of show, like Disney on Ice or something like that. And she would come back with these lavish gifts, like, brand new little fancy cute dresses and all kinds of snacks and treats and different things. He bought her a lot of different things, but I know that he was grooming her. Okay, there were other things that were happening and that were going on. However, the mother, her being this careless and reckless individual who didn't have her life together in the first place, I believe was more eagerly looking for a break away from her kids to, run the streets or do what she wanted to do, that this was okay with her. You know, and it's one thing if you have a son and you know a man who is a father or a good father figure to be a mentor to your son, especially if your son don't have, a male role model in his life. I get that. They're of the same sex. But, really and truly, this day and time, even the boys get molested and groomed and things like that. But no mother in her right mind would let some middle-aged man, you know, take off with her, 7 to 10 year old kid, and he's like, lavishing her with gifts, and it wasn't like he had kids or something like that, and was like, hey, I'm gonna take her with, with my kids, let her meet some new friends, let them hang out, this, my wife's gonna be with me, this, that, and the other. No, it would just be KAHLIL, Tatum, and Relisha Rudd, and they would go out on these different outings, and it was all these different things. So he was grooming her, like I said. So it got to the point where Relisha started missing numerous days of school and everything, and even some of the staff or her teachers said at school, she was very clingy. She was actually a good student, but when she came to school, she was like very hungry, like she hadn't had enough to eat or eaten anything. Because they lived in the shelter, she, probably didn't have the best of clothes or cleanest of clothes and different things. And so it showed that she was being neglected to some degree. However, she was a good student overall, you understand? So when this KAHLIL Tatum guy started taking her out on these outings, at first he would take her out on outings and then bring her back to the shelter with her mom. And then that turned to she would allow her daughter to stay like the weekend with him. So this will be 2-3 days at a time, like a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. She'll get to stay with this man all day. And then that turned into she would be gone with him a week or so. To that turned to, she would be gone a couple weeks or so. Well, all this time she was missing school. And the school was calling. They're like, oh, hey, we're worried about her, where she's at. And, there was excuses made up to the teachers, the staff at the school that says, oh, she had some medical issue. She had to have surgery or something. She was diagnosed with something. She's not feeling well. X, Y, and Z is going on. And I believe at some point they was even told that she was not going to come back to the school or whatever. CPS was very much involved with this family because, like I said, the mother was very poorly and caring for her children. They were living in the shelter, and it's not to say that if you, fall on your luck, end up losing everything, end up living in the shelter or something, that makes you a bad person. But those things are supposed to be used as a stepping stone. You should be actively looking for work. You should be actively, what I'm saying, trying to get back up on your feet to provide for yourself and your children and things. So don't think I'm putting people down who are poor or who have had to live in a shelter. I have been there, done that myself. Okay, so I'm not putting it like that. But this lady, excuse me, clearly did not properly take care of her children and really just kind of almost didn't really care. So like I said, it got to the point where Relisha was no longer coming to school. There was a large amount of time that went by. Several weeks at first went by. And so she was steady getting these calls from the school, the mother was, and they were just kind of asking, well, where is Relisha, this, that, and the other. And then they was requesting, the mother had lied and said, oh, she's with her doctor such and such, and gave that guy's name. So the school people, they were like, well, we would like to talk to her. Is there any type of way that we could be sent some paperwork or something to say this is going on? Well, that was never done or whatever, of course. And so weeks and weeks had went by. Relisha was not returned to the shelter with her mother. And even the shelter was a horrible place. There were people in there who would, be mean to the children or try to touch the children or do different things to the children. All kinds of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So it was really awful. for her being there as well. Nevertheless, like I said, it got to the point where she was never brought back to the shelter. The mother did not contact authorities. She did not alert anybody to this. It was like she wasn't concerned. It was like she didn't care. All she told people, oh, she's with Mr. Tatum. She's with Mr. Khalil Tatum. Remind you, this girl is not going to school or anything. You haven't seen your daughter. She don't have any fresh clothes or underwear or anything. This is your daughter. What do you mean like she didn't have a care in the world? Which was another red flag for me. You understand? So there was a situation that came up when she was finally reported missing because I believe it was between the school and the CPS getting involved that ended up eventually saying something about her missing. And so, of course, they had to question the mother, and she came up, with this excuse, oh, that her daughter was with this man, blase, blase, bloom, or whatever. But by this time, Khalil Tatum had quit his job. He had stopped coming to work. And he also had never brung little Relisha Rudd back to the shelter with her mother either. So there was lies that was told to the school, to CPS, to the authorities, and then the mother said, oh, I thought she was with my family, some of my family. I thought my family had her. And the family was like, no, she wasn't. You said that she was with this guy or whatever. So that's basically the situation, y'all. That's basically the case. Relisha Rudd was never seen or heard from again. There was some surveillance of her that was picked up. This Khalil Tatum man, she was seen walking down the hall with this man at a hotel. Okay? And I'm like, this is crazy. This man is taking this girl to a hotel, and they had looked like he had a like a trash bag with their stuff in it or whatever, and they're walking down the hall to this hotel room, and that was like the last known footage of her and this man. Okay, but Relisha Rudd was never seen or heard from ever again, and she was never found. However, that same hotel room, um, um, Khalil Tatum's wife was found in that room, murdered to death. She had been killed. And later, when they went to go and search and find where this Khalil Tatum was, he was found dead as well. So, the main suspect in both his wife's murder and the last known person to have been with Relisha Rudd is dead. And nobody knows where Relisha is. Nobody has seen her. The mother is completely suspect to me. I know she lied to authorities. This woman didn't have a care. Like, it's going to blow y'all's mind what I got in the spirit reading. Like, it's crazy. But that's literally the situation, because I've seen this case go on, and so I watched these different interviews and things that was done with the mother and stuff like that or whatever. And like, if you just look it up and you see the videos, the mother, like, y'all, she ain't even right. She didn't seem upset. She didn't seem frustrated. She didn't seem angry. She didn't seem sad. She didn't have not one tear. I would have been bawling out of my, like, do you understand me? I've been out of my mind. But this woman didn't shed a tear. And then she gave this cock-a-bullin story, or whatever. Oh, I thought she was with my family member. Oh, yeah, but that's right. She was with him or whatever, but nobody's even seeing him anymore, So I'm like, this woman is crazy. She's lying. And then at the end of one of the interviews, she was like, the people asked her, was it anything else that she wanted to say or wanted people to know? Because she was just so nonchalant and vague with what she was saying and things. She was like, well, I hope my baby come back to me. I'm like, what? Y'all, it's crazy. So, anyway, that is the overall story of what happened to Relisha Rudd. Now, like I said, her place of birth is Washington, D.C. She has brown hair and brown eyes. Her height was about 4 feet at the time, and she weighed about 70 to 80 pounds. Her complexion was like a medium shade of skin color. She is female, and her race is black or African American. Okay, the remarks that I have pertaining to this case is weeks prior to Relisha Rudd being reported missing, she was known to wear a purple Helly Hansen brand winter jacket and pink boots. That was all on the remarks, y'all. Um, and I just want to say one more thing. These remarks that I'm the remarks and then the situation details that I'm about to read to you, these things were said by authorities. Usually on some of these things, like if there was family that was around or they've been made a statement, and so their statement would be in there as to what happened and what they last seen and different things like that. There is no statement even from the mother. So this chick literally just went on with her life, did not even care, which is another red flag for me, which clearly lets me know that she is more involved than people know. Okay, so the situation details about Relisha Rudd's disappearance is the authorities believe that Relisha Rudd was with 51-year-old KAHLIL Malik Tatum. The Metropolitan Police Department confirmed on April 1st, 2014, that KAHLIL Tatum was found deceased in the area of Killyworth Park and Aquatic Gardens in northeast Washington, D.C. The search for Relisha Rudd continues. She has never been seen, heard from, or found since. Okay? So, as you all see, I've already shuffled. I laid out a spread of cards for her. We have the tarot reading here. We have angel messages here. We have past life influence oracle cards here that would give us more insight as to what happened in this situation. And I'm going to pull some spirit guide messages as well. So this reading is as follows, guys, okay? So I asked my spirit guides, did Relisha Rudd's mother pimp her out for money to KAHLIL Tatum? My spirit guides tell me yes. I asked my spirit guides, was KAHLIL Tatum molested, or was he molesting and raping Relisha Rudd? My spirit guides tell me yes. I asked my spirit guides, did KAHLIL Tatum kill his wife? My spirit guides tell me yes. I asked my spirit guides, did KAHLIL Tatum kill himself? My spirit guides also confirm yes. I asked my spirit guides, was KAHLIL Tatum pimping Relisha Rudd out when he took her to the hotel? My spirit guides told me yes, okay? So what you all need to understand is that not only was KAHLIL Tatum molesting and raping this young girl, he was also pimping her out to other people, making money off of her, okay? And that's what was going on when he took her to this hotel. Now, on the video surveillance that I was telling you about prior, one of those days, his wife ended up he ended up leaving out or something, or coming back. But his wife ended up coming to the hotel. Okay. And I believe on that day is when he killed her. I believe this woman knew something was horribly wrong. They didn't have any children. Like, why do you have this little girl in here? Why is she at this hotel? Why haven't you been home? And the girl probably was hurt, looking, disheveled, or, or something. It probably just didn't sit right with her. And this is when KAHLIL Tatum made a decision to kill this lady, which was his wife, okay? So, I asked my spirit guides, did KAHLIL Tatum abduct Relisha Rudd? My spirit guides tell me yes, but he paid to do so, okay? I asked my spirit guides, is Relisha Rudd's mother hiding information from the authorities? My spirit guides tell me yes. I told you all that lady is lying. I knew she was lying from the jump. I asked my spirit guides, did Khalil Tatum's wife know he was raping Relisha Rudd? Not in the beginning. When she came to that hotel, she knew something was horribly wrong, and this is when he decided to kill her because his wife was found in that same hotel room, and him and Relisha left his wife there. He murdered her in that hotel room. My spirit guides tell me, yeah, my spirit guides tell me that Khalil Tatum, um, um, I'm sorry, y'all. I was reading this. Just a minute. My spirit guides tell me that Khalil Tatum killed Relisha Rudd to hide what he had done to her. Okay, so it wasn't long after he killed his wife. At that point, he knew that at some point he was going to be found out. Um, like I said, when his wife came up there to confront him or to see him or whatever, he ended up killing her. He couldn't run the risk of being caught dragging her body out of the hotel, so he left her in the room. But he clearly knew that law enforcement would soon catch up with him because once law enforcement get here, realize that there's this dead body in this hotel room, they're going to try to figure out who this person is, okay? And then they would come looking for him because that's his wife. So it wasn't long after that he ended up killing Relisha Rudd and then himself. So I asked my spirit guides, did Khalil Tatum sell Relisha Rudd to a sex trafficker? My spirit guides tell me no. So we clearly, I just kind of clarified myself, my own answer, because I clearly just told you that Khalil Tatum killed Relisha Rudd to hide what he had done to her and everything that was going on because once he killed his wife, he knew it was over with. He couldn't let his wife go because the wife knew something horribly was wrong and going on, so he killed her. And he knew the authorities would be after him eventually from that. He could not risk going back to work and taking this young girl back, to her because, for one, she had been sold to him, is what I want you all to understand. This man did not just leave with this girl, he didn't just abduct her and take off. He was given to her by Relisha's mother, is what I want you all to understand. Which does not make what he did any better, but I need you to understand where the problem starts at. This woman was so low life, low down and dirty, and willing to do anything for money, including selling her own child. Okay, and she was pimping out her own child because in the beginning, like I said, he would go for her. He would, or she would. Relisha would go with Khalil for like a day trip, and then that turned to overnight trips, and then that turned to weekend trips, and then that turned to her being gone for weeks at a time. Okay. And so he paid her each time that, she let him leave with her. Well, then he ended up giving her one big lump sum to have her. Okay. So we're going to get to that in a minute. Okay, let's see where I was at. I asked my spirit guides, did Khalil Tatum kill Relisha Rudd to hide what he had done? My spirit guide says yes. I asked, did Khalil Tatum sell Relisha Rudd to a sex trafficker? My spirit guide says, tell me no. I asked my spirit guides, is the government involved in a cover up of what really happened to Relisha Rudd? My spirit guides tell me yes. I asked my spirit guides, is Relisha Rudd dead? My spirit guides tell me yes. I asked my spirit guides, was Relisha Rudd missing school because she was being trafficked? My spirit guides tell me yes. This went on in Washington, D.C. This girl was getting pimped out. Okay? She was getting pimped out before her untimely demise. Okay? Not only the government, the school, but CPS knew what was happening to this girl, knew what was going on. You understand me? So do you also see why Khalil ended up dead? Staged to look like a suicide. Okay? I asked my spirit guides, does CPS, which is Child Protective Service, have involvement in the case of Relisha Rudd? My spirit guides tell me yes. I asked my spirit guides, do the government, the CPS, and the school know what really happened to Relisha Rudd? My spirit guides tell me yes. Okay. So my spirit guides did tell me that KAHLIL Tatum, he bought Relisha from her mother to keep her eventually. Like I said in the beginning, while he was growing her, it was day trips, then it was overnight trips, then it was weekend trips, and then she was just gone with him all the time. And by this time, he had quit his job. He stopped coming to work altogether. And he paid her mother. He paid Relisha Rudd's mother for her. Okay. My spirit guides also tell me that Relisha Rudd's body has been buried. My spirit guides also tell me that KAHLIL Tatum killed Relisha by rape, torture, strangulation, and he also shot her. My spirit guides tell me that Relisha Rudd was buried in the downtown Washington, D.C. area. It is close to KAHLIL Tatum's old job at the shelter. And then my spirit guides tell me that she is in the back of the shelter. So if there's some type of yard area or grounds area or garden space or something in the back of that shelter, that's where her body is buried. My spirit guides tell me that KAHLIL Tatum paid $800 to Relisha Rudd's mother for her. Okay, so he was giving her a few dollars here and there when she was first going off with him or whatever. But eventually, he literally paid this tramp only $800 for her daughter. It's crazy. It's crazy. So in conclusion of this reading, I asked my spirit guides, is Relisha Rudd's other family, does Relisha Rudd's other family know what was being done to her? My spirit guides tell me no. Relisha Rudd's other family have no idea as to what happened to her. So basically what I'm saying is if she had like, living grandparents or aunts, uncles, cousins, sister, brothers, whatever, they didn't have anything to do with what happened with her. They don't have any information. Basically, they didn't know other than what was told to them when she went missing. So they don't have any involvement, is what I'm saying, in what happened to her. Okay, guys. I pulled some cards for Relisha. This is absolutely horrible. The first card I have here is the Three of Swords. The Three of Swords talks all about heartache, heartbreak, sorrow, misery, pain, disappointments. This heartache, this heartbreak, this misery, this heartache here was because of Relisha. Relisha, I believe, is an earth sign, a Capricorn, Taurus, or Virgo. This is the Page of Pentacles here. This is very grounded, stable type of energy here. So this heartache, this heartbreak here was surrounded around this baby. This lets you know that something horrific was done to her, okay? She was seriously, traumatically hurt, and her little life was ended way too soon, okay? Next, we have the Moon, which speaks of illusions, delusions, secrets. You see, things going on in the night, under the moonlight, okay? Surrounded next to this Page of Pentacles here, who was suffering, okay? She was in pain. The Ace of Cups talks about overwhelming feelings, emotions. It talks about love. It talks about fulfillment. This cup is full. I believe this comes, and also we have the Nine of Cups here, which talks about wish fulfillment or getting a wish. This was for the perverted fool KAHLIL Tatum, who did this to her. Okay, he was extremely fulfilled, emotionally fulfilled, and this was a wish come true for him to have a kid that he could rape and torture like this, which was the cause of this heartache, this heartbreak. Okay, the destruction of this baby. Okay? Very sad situation. Very, very sad. So, to clarify this Three of Swords and this Page of Pentacles here, like I said, the Three of Swords talks about heartache, and the Page of Pentacles talks about opportunities, with this being earth energy here, with this being a page, just lets you know that this is a younger person here. So from the past life oracle deck, I have imprisonment or slavery. This girl was kept locked up. You know, she was being imprisoned. She was treated like a slave. She was used. She was abused. She was locked down. She was tied up. She was confined. She was bound. She was gagged. She was used, okay, in very horrific ways. Okay, to clarify, you know, this illusion around this situation, the delusions around this situation, the secret around this situation, and the emotional fulfillment. Okay, we have finances. This was for money. The mother is the one who received these finances for selling her daughter. And then essentially, the KAHLIL Tatum, he even made a little money off of her, because not only was he abusing her and raping her, he was pimping her out to other people as well. Okay? So, further clarification here, we have the Nine of Cups, which talks about wish fulfillment. This was a wish fulfillment for KAHLIL Tatum. Okay? And this talks about persecution and inquisition. Okay? He was getting this emotional, he had this emotional fulfillment, okay, surrounding this secret of him buying, you know, this little girl from her mother. This fulfilled every hope, wish, dream, desire he had. This gave him emotional fulfillment. But he had to quit his job. He couldn't go back to his job because he was so enthralled with being with this girl. And if anybody was to suspect that, you know, she was with him, he would be persecuted and inquisitioned, you know. So those were some past life messages that went along with that. The angel messages that I have here is recovery. The situation will improve. Success in the near future. No need to worry. And at the bottom of the deck, we have take action within the next few weeks. Okay. And the bottom of the deck, from the tarot deck, we have the King of Pentacles. Okay. So obviously somebody made a lot of money off this girl, or possibly this this KAHLIL Tatum. This KAHLIL Tatum is possibly an earth sign as well. If he is not, you know, like I said, because he was pimping her out or whatever, he made a lot of money off of him. That may be why he came up as the King of Pentacles, which is again, Capricorn, Taurus, or Virgo energy. This is the king, so it's usually male. And you see, the King of Pentacles talk about this person is supposed to be trustworthy, but he was clearly, he is not. You know what I'm saying? He was disguised as someone nice and someone sweet and someone caring and giving and loving, but he had very evil, wicked, sinful desires deep down. Okay? Which is why he partook in doing what he did. With the angel message recovery here, my spirit guides are telling me that with the Three of Swords being here, her body will be recovered, perhaps from somebody seeing this video, or you know, it's going to find her body being recovered. I feel like if they search, if they look, they will find her remains. Thus, with the other information provided that they may or may not have known, they may be able to, solve this case and get other people who were involved. The next angel message is the situation will improve. This situation will improve with this recovery. Once this baby is found here, this situation will improve, because it can bring people closure, closure to the people who did love her and care about her, who do miss her. Okay. Next, we have success. Okay. Once she is recovered, it will bring, there will be an improvement to this situation because they will be able to close this case, and it will bring about success. My spirit guides are also telling me, the angels are saying that this will happen in the near future and there's no need to worry. Whether that message is for the local authorities or her family, Relisha Rudd's body will be recovered. Okay. I get, the ancestor messages is you can't trust anybody. She couldn't even trust her mother, and she could not trust this guy that played pretend, like he was sweet, like he was nice, like he was caring and loving and things. She couldn't trust anybody. Her own mother sold her out for money. I have satanic sellouts. Okay. So there could be individuals, this was a sacrifice, okay? Obviously. There could be individuals involved in the cult or secret societies who are involved in this. I have obsession. Somebody was obsessed with her. It could be this KAHLIL Tatum. It could be other people that she was passed around to. But I believe this is for KAHLIL. He had a deep obsession for this little girl, that he was willing to quit his job and do everything he could to keep her. Okay. We have money here. Pure evil. Okay. Okay, guys. So this is very sad. Oh, stalker. He was a stalker. He had watched her for a while. Okay. Her spirit has crossed over. My spirit guides are telling me that her spirit has crossed over. She is in a higher place. She has been protected and surrounded by angels. And for those of you who need to know, her body will be recovered. She will be found. If you look and where I told you to look, she will be found. You will find her remains, for sure. The clarifier on the bottom of this deck, it was very interesting. It says father, and it came out in the reverse. There was no information that I found pertaining to Relisha's father. Okay. It actually came out like this, but I turned it around because this is the past life deck. So this situation, there's some kind of situation that pertains to her father, or there's something in a past life that happened with her pertaining to her father, relating to what happened to her in this life. I do not, in this day and time, I do not feel like her father was in her life during this time when this happened, which is very interesting. Like, is he deceased? You see, like, the father holding the little daughter's hand or whatever. Are they together in spirit now, in a better place, in heaven, in a heavenly realm or something? But it was interesting that this came up. Or could it be that there's a father? Her father is involved with what took place or what happened. And the overall messages that we had for the angel messages, my spirit guides, my angels are telling you all to take action within the next few weeks. The mother needs to be held accountable for her actions. She sold her daughter. She didn't give a doggone about the health and the well-being of her own child. She sold this baby to the highest bidder. Okay, she did this for money, and it's sad that all it took was $800 for her to be willing to, give her kid up. But frankly, my spirit guides are really telling me that perhaps she was being, messed with or tampered with before this even occurred, okay? Because I got the feeling that there was creepy people that was messing with the children and things in those shelters. You know, they had to share rooms and different things with a lot of different people, which was, if you watch the interviews, which is one of the excuses that the mother gave as to why she would let her go out on outings and different things, because it was so many people in the shelter, and, you know, and they were all packed in there, and, you know, all the crazy folks and the crazy things that was going on in the shelter. So, that was quite interesting, indeed, as well. Um, for Relisha's family, these satanic sellouts, I'm so tired of seeing this, okay? It's sad how many sellouts it is in this world, y'all. Hold on. I need to anoint my head with oil, child, because these people, um, it amazes me just how many sellouts are in this world. And people that's willing to do anything for money. It's absolutely ridiculous. Money, okay? Money. This is why these folks are selling out. Money. They're literally willing to do anything for money, and it's absolutely ridiculous. Nevertheless, I do hope this information sheds some light and helps the authorities who are working this case, who are looking for information or clues or whatever. I do not believe that that area was searched. The shelter in itself. My spirit guides tell me that um, Khalil Tatum buried her body behind the shelter. Okay, so like I said, they actually told me first that she was buried somewhere close to downtown Washington, D.C., close to his job, the shelter that he works at, and then they told me that he had buried her in the backyard. Okay, so I hope that helps you all recover her body. To the family, to the friends, to other individuals in the world who actually, you know, heard about this case, care about this baby. You know, I like to send my condolences to you all for your loss of her. And I'm going to light another candle for Relisha, and I'm going to send her peace, love, and light. My spirit guides do tell me she is in a better place right now. She has been taken care of. She's surrounded by angels. Okay. As I always tell you all, take care of yourself, take care of each other, but most of all, please take care of your babies. Watch your surroundings. Watch who you're dealing with. Even watch who is watching and tending to your children. Okay. You all take care of yourself, take care of each other, love one another if it's at all possible, because this is a crazy, crazy world that we live in, a very wicked, sinister, evil, awful world. I send you all peace, love, and light as well. Until the next time, namaste.